the City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 428 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. That's right. We're going to call this one Route 66 as we took Route 66 in our last league win, right? And then also, well, we had some glory in the CONCACAF Champions League. So it's been a pretty good lead up to this episode. We've got some fun ones to cover. Of course, there's a preview for a game this weekend and an amazing watch party to talk about as well. So yes, we're going to have a busy episode. And of course, an LAFC2 update. Before we can make that happen though, let's welcome back our crew. We've got Araceli, we've got Bam, we've got Tony, and of course, I'm here with you guys. Araceli, how are you doing tonight?
Actually doing really well. Just been very busy with work, obviously, but also for those that don't know, I will be traveling to Portland in 3 weeks here for the away match. So I'm very excited to be back up there. I think the last time I went was in like 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. So if anybody has like any recommendations, I'm all ears. But otherwise, I mean, of course, great results from our guys, and of course, can't wait to talk about that more.
Yeah, exactly. Momentum is good. That's for sure. Portland is amazing. You will love it. I'm sure we've all got some tips for you. So, yes, definitely reach out to Araceli. Give her the heads up on what to do down there because, yes, that is like Disneyland for grown-ups. There you go. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. It's been an eventful week at work this week, just to say the least. But coming off with 2 great wins over this past week, it's been great. So looking forward to getting into it.
There it is. Adding some spark to the work week. I'll leave it at that. Tony, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been a very hot one. It's going to be another hot one, especially this weekend. I was planning for a nice cold hangar, but I guess we're going back into the heat. So bring your water bottles, be hydrated, and but excited that excited with all the news, excited for all the matches that are upcoming if we advance, and then the road trips and everything like that. So just doing well.
Without a doubt, I think this weekend's watch party is going to be a vibe, and we'll definitely cover it more because it is a pretty cool setup. Last year was cool too. But before we get into that, before we talk about the next match, let's talk about a few tidbits of news that are rather important to LAFC. One, they finally gave us details for the sprint season, the 2027 sprint season. So this is a short turnaround elbow season, you want to call it that, but basically a gap season to actually get us into a traditional schedule. If you follow J League, they're currently in one. It's been pretty cool to watch. Some of the rules are a little bit funky for theirs because they don't want to have any draws since it's a tight league and not many games. We're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that. But the format will be rather fascinating. So the league will go from February to May. It'll be a 14-game season, not a home and home. Basically, you're playing all the teams in your side, right? The West is the West, the East is the East, and you don't play anybody from the other side unless you get the MLS Cup. And then, with no experience against the other guy for that period, you're going for it, right? Very old school. Feels like how baseball used to be before interleague play kicked in, where you weren't going to the other side unless it was spring training. So this should be rather fascinating to see how this plays out. It does remind me of some other leagues that we're familiar with that play, the double seasons and all. It's going to have that kind of vibe. I like it. I dig it. It's a great way to transition. Even cooler that you get to qualify for the international tournaments if you do well in this short league. That too. So the incentives are high. It is really a sprint. You got to do what you got to do. Bam, your thoughts on this sprint league?
It keeps people entertained while they change the season, obviously. I was saying to you guys off air, it's a perfect time for, they will never do it, but to bring you pro relegation. The ones that make the playoffs, you're now in the top tier. The ones that miss the playoffs, you're now in the championship per se. That way you can have them both going end of the season, promotion, relegation, which will be fun, but I doubt will ever happen.
Yeah, those very wealthy men that own all the teams in this league are just not going to let it happen, right? Zero risk is the vibe. Funny you mentioned that. If you watch the J League, everybody that moved up from this last year, this league has no effect on whether you change divisions. They just froze it for the mini season. So no pro rel for at least this gap, and then they go back to normal again. So, JEF United, congrats, right? They don't have to worry about it. But yeah, there is that. So our league again, I know we all want pro rel. We want something different. Yeah, it's just going to be a shortened little tournament league. And then we move on to the full season. So, yep, different. Now, outside of that news, I think the biggest thing, of course, is the games themselves and the form the club has been in. The highs, the lows, the comment battles that we're seeing lately. Everybody's going off. It's been kind of funny to watch too. But at the end of the day, the boys are getting the job done, especially in league. They are flying. So St. Louis City came to town. We kind of had this attitude of, well, we got this. Won't be a big deal. Not a big problem. And, well, they kind of took it to us in this game. It was a very different vibe. Now, for the lineups, a little bit of change, a little bit of movement that we were kind of hoping would happen because of basically what's been going on. Larice was in goal. Hordius and Tafari were center backs, of course. Raposo played on the right. Segura was on the left. Delgado and Chouanier were your defensive midfielders. Sonny was listed as the attacking mid with Martinez and Bouanga on the wides and Ordaz as the target. To be honest, this thing looked more like a 4-2-4 from the get-go. We'll explain how that worked itself out. The other side, they played a 3-4-2-1 with Berkey in net, Baumgartel, Orozco, and Polvara as the center backs. Their wing backs were Santos and Valem. Durkin and Edelman were their defensive midfielders. Teuchert and Hartel were their attacking mids with Becker up top. Yeah, that's what they were going for. Hartle, of course, was kind of the focus for this match and was getting into it and had some chances early on. But yeah, a little surprising for a first half. I'm taking it to Tony. Tony, what are the highlights for that first half? Because it was a little funky.
It was like a very awkward first half because it's like we didn't take them seriously, and I think this is kind of the whole like the same thing that's been going on since I think the last two games of just not taking it seriously, not going to the opponent's like weaknesses and just thinking it's just a lolly-dolly game. The only thing I did like was that the lineup I felt should have been the starter for Costa Rica than what we had before.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was just a very hard game to pretty much win. And
yeah,
it took miracles from like our players. Yeah.
The only highlights of the first half was the other side's highlights, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a few, but that was it.
Nothing too, like I said, it was just like nothing too crazy. It was just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just them very physical, you could tell Sonny was not in his zone. You could tell that Bouanga was going back to his old tricks of just trying to drag it in the way and everything, and no one could finish.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez was looking right. Chouanier was looking okay. Backline was well organized, so yeah, canceled itself out. Now, second half, of course, gets a little bit different. Still frustrating, but things start to develop, right, Tony?
Yeah. Some key change up is the best way to say it, because Delgado comes out, Tillman comes in, Boyd comes in for Martinez, and Son comes out, and Baldry, and which kind of helped out because then it kind of left, honestly, the first goal, and I'm gonna butcher his name right now because I want to say Chanel, but it's not Chanel. It's Chouanier, pretty much with a low floater, like from outside the box with no speed whatsoever. I don't say that with like the best presence, everything, just no speed gets it into the net, and that's his first goal, and celebrated the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Into the
simple
stands.
placement, right? Place the ball. He placed the ball. It goes in. Then he proceeds to jump into the 32-52, nearly taking out the the one stanchion there. But hey, man, getting it done. Best celebration so far this season, by far, by far. Bam, your thoughts on that first goal, man?
Very happy for Sean Ye to get his first goal. Like, that was a magnificent goal. Again, what do I like to say? If you have a shot from outside the box, take the shot. Look what happens. That was as Tony was saying, a slow roll into the net, but it went into the net, plain and simple. If you're outside the box and you got a chance, take it. Look what happens.
Right. What's the worst that's going to happen? Right. And of course, he liked it so much, he decided to do it again. Right, Tony? In the 81st minute, he
81st
pops
minute.
another one. Yeah.
Outside the
Tony,
box, slow.
how did that one play itself out? Because that one even looked even more entertaining.
Just again, just outside the box, just right place, right time, and again, low, slow, driven with no pace whatsoever to the back of the net, and the brace, and us pretty much 2-0, which it shouldn't have been that difficult. I'm like, luckily we got the game, and these are the grinder games that we need to do this, but eventually it's going to be a problematic. That I know it's a weird thing to say, because it's like, this is where the all message boards, I'll say that, I'll put myself a little bit older, all message boards from Reddit to Twitter or X to wherever you can find news, is just talking about like the concerns that we're having and everything. But it's always concerning when you can't defeat a team who hasn't won this whole season. Yes, we are 4-0 with no goals scored on for the first four. Sorry, let me knock on wood on that one. But it's still concerning that we're playing to the level of a team that shouldn't be that hard to beat. You know what I mean? With everything that we have, yes, we do have a player out for a couple weeks, and he is a big part of our game. But with everybody inside, as we'll talk about later, with Martinez, with Ordaz, with Baudry, with Tafari stepping up, Segura's doing his thing as much as he can. We have everything that we need, but we're not closing these games the way we should, or playing to the level that we should be playing, and instead we're downgrading ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that the pragmatic side of things has to win the day. The pretty isn't going to do the job, especially if teams play the way they do, which they've that's the code. Like, that's what everybody's figured out they want to do against LAFC, because they think it's going to work. So you just wait them out, maybe get them on a counter, try to kill the game off a bit, slow the game down as much as possible, make it choppy. Yeah, that is the plan against us, and it's worked until we decided to switch things up. And of course, Bam, what's the thing you do to switch it up when a team pretty much turtles back there?
Take shots from outside the box, plain and simple. If trying to walk in is not working, go for the long one. As Tony was saying, at the moment, it's not real pretty football. But you know what is pretty? 3 points. You know what is pretty? Having clean sheets. That's what's pretty. Scoring goals, getting 3 points, clean sheets. That, to me, is what is pretty.
And that's where I go to Araceli. Araceli, you did here. By winning this game and getting another shutout, we are the first team to ever start with 4 straight wins in a season and not concede a goal. How big of a deal to you is that stat right there?
Oh, it's absolutely a huge deal for the club, especially everything that they've been through for the past few weeks. And I know the last show we were talking about how exhausted the players may be. And I'll be honest, this match alone, I did not have a chance to watch it because I was working. But after seeing the highlights and everything that I've heard from Tony and Bam, it sounds like it was kind of a mix of silly mistakes and exhaustion, if I'm, hearing them correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, like, me, I am biased when it comes to St. Louis. So any type of loss for them is good for me, especially if it's with LAFC or my hometown. But at the end of the day, the win is still big. It still makes a statement. And I am glad to see that Sharnway, I always mispronounce his name, I'm sorry. But I'm glad to see that he was able to get that brace and have his moment.
And that's the key, right? Someone else had to step up. In every game so far, in the 4 wins we've had, another face has stepped up. It hasn't just been the stars. That's important. That's how teams win in the playoffs. So the thing you see in this league, when things get tight, the teams that can move the ball away from their star players are the teams that win this thing. You got a wing back or somebody else doing something special in a game, and now you get to the next round. We're already doing it at this stage of the season. It isn't pretty. It isn't pretty, but the points are, right? The end result is, and all you know is that we won by 2 goals yet again and didn't concede anything. In terms of the shots, we still outshot our opponent, even though they held possession on us by a hair, a little more than a hair, but it didn't matter. We got the job done. I I'll just say this now. I can't get too negative if the team keeps performing like this, especially knowing that there are injuries already. Several injuries. We still don't have our main center back pairing the way it normally would be, right? We're still moving things around and figuring things out. And to get these wins, and while I watch the rest of the league and the struggles they're having, again, the teams that are supposed to be our threat and where they're at, yeah. I mean, put your shoes, right? Wear somebody else's shoes in this league. Any other team in this league, there is nobody sitting pretty like this right now. Nobody's in this position. Pretty, not pretty. Just getting these results, it's a rarity. Bam, right? Perspective is important here.
Exactly. Like, look at perspective and all that. I would, you could offer me the greatest odds here is on who would be the last team to get a point this season. At no chance would I have ever picked Philadelphia to be 4 games with 4 losses.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show that there are teams that are underperforming. Philadelphia is one of them. And there are teams that, like us, who have a lot of injuries, that are got players out there that are playing for each other. They're playing for the team. They're playing for the 32-52. They're playing to cement their spot. So when these other players do come back from an injury, they're not just going to walk straight in. It's going to look at it now. For the ones that are injured, I can't see any of them walking straight back in.
No way. No way. Yeah, that's the other rarity for this side. Usually we have an 11, and you're like, oh man, once one of these guys is out, there's going to be a drop off. In this case, it feels like we're better after some guys come in. There's a bump from these moves. I mean, the best thing we could have done this week for this match was to take out Sonny, who was playing great. I mean, deliveries are there. He's still playing awesome. But the breakthrough was making that change because it just switched things up. They couldn't just all team on one player, and it kind of opened things up just by playing that way. So it could just be the system taking over, and it did. So, am I getting mad about it? No, I'm actually, to me, the biggest test passed in this match was the fact that the manager made a hard decision, had to make the grown-up decision, right? I have to take the star player out that never wants to come out of the game. I have to figure out with my egos and who we have out there to make sure they know the process. And to me, that was the success of this match. Yes, you got the result, but you're also willing to make changes with your star players and then get better from it. It's huge. That tells the rest of the league, like, even if we don't have this guy, or this guy, we're still a threat. We're still dangerous. 3 deep on the bench, we're still dangerous. That's awesome. It's great news. All right, so that's where we're at there. Tony, any other thoughts on this before we move on to the next big match?
I'll save that because it's similar to what happens in this last match to this match, so I'll just save it to the end for the next one.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to push it right on to the next one. Champions Cup, CONCACAF Champions Cup, leg 2. We saw the banter on X and every other bit of social media between their fans, our supporters. A lot of smack talk, right? We got the history, all that other nonsense. Yeah, well, guess what happens? We head down there. Another contingent of 32-52 get out there. A little bit more of an edge for the other side there. LDA, I mean, they came hard with this. The supporters, everything. and they were ready to go. It wasn't a hesitation. We thought, okay, they'll ease into this match. No chance to. And that's what I'll throw it. Let's go to the lineup first. Alawenze, they went with the 4-1-4-1. No big changes from the last. There was one injury that had to be replaced. So Ortega was in goal. Gamboa and Van der Putten were their center backs. They had Pinar and Matarita as their outside backs. Salazar as their defensive midfielder. Braun and Borges were their attacking mids. Perez, Hernandez outside. Cisnero as the target man. Again, one major change. That was it because of an injury. And then they also had an injury early in this game that forced a change. Now, from us, we went in, of course, listed as a 4-2-3-1. Didn't quite look like that. You know, there were some changes quick and adjustments, but basically Lloris was in goal. Tafari, Porteous were in the back. Palencia and Segura were their outside backs for this one. Again, the trusted two now. Delgado, Chouanier were your defensive midfielders, with Sonny listed again as being that attacking mid, but there's more to him, right? And then Tillman and Bawanga were listed as the outsides, and Ordaz was the man up top. Yes, no Martinez to start this match, to the surprise of some of us, maybe many of us, that it was Ordaz over Martinez on the day, Tillman over others on the day, but this is where we went with it. Thinking, okay, that's fine. We'll adjust into this game. Sadly, we didn't get a chance to adjust. Yeah, that's right. Get a little scared, a little quick. Tony, I'll bring it to you, man. How did things kick off here?
Fortunately kicked off in the wrong ways. We knew that away goals was going to be a big thing. And unfortunately, that's where it kind of bit us in the ass. Sorry for my French. In the 4th minute, off a corner kick, and then the ball just juggling around, and the chaos that ensued gets passed in, and Alafuenza is up 1-0, and pretty much here we go. Park the bus, and it got physical. Like after the rest of the whole half it was just physicality the whole time, and we knew that going in that they were going to try to hit this person, hit this person, hit this person, and it was just at the end of the day we couldn't get the ball to the run, to the point where even Sonny had a little I think that was in the second half, but like Sonny had some choice words for a player when he finally got the yellow.
I mean, he was close to actually raising up the arms there. But Bawanga stepped in pretty quick to get control. Sonny had it. I mean, it was nasty. The tackle was nasty. There were several nasty plays. A lot of stuff off the ball. I think the most entertaining player for me as this game was progressing was Porteous, and the smack talk he was giving back to them. I think he told one guy to brush his teeth. It's pretty funny stuff. But basically the physicality, he matched it. And that's essential for our center backs, right? To get into it. Don't let up on these guys. There was a lot of back and forth. And I do give the guys credit. In past seasons, when teams have been rough with us, we haven't returned the favor. A lot of times we just try to skill out, right? And it doesn't work. In this case, as you saw with Sonny, as you saw with others, hell no, we give it back. That's how you play in CONCACAF. You got to be nasty. Just wait till the next round, right? It's going to be nasty. So game continues. We have to get back into this thing. It's getting tougher for us. It's getting a little bit dangerous at this stage. Finally, we do have a breakthrough, right, Tony? Pretty late into this thing.
Yes, pretty late in kind of a broken defensive play by Alafuenza and a good recovery. From who was it in my head? Delgado. He finds Ordaz in the middle, and Ordaz with pretty much a one shot, one touch into the back of the net, and we're back into the game. And it was just, the excitement was perfect. We're down, and we just need to we knew now they're still gonna park the bus, but now we have a chance to take back control of this game, and it literally took down to the dying moments of this game. And mind you, Alafuenza had multiple opportunities, and we had multiple opportunities. Bawanga pretty much had a how do I say this in the best way possible? A Vancouver situation again, where he hit the top of the net and didn't finish it. But luckily, I guess in the dying moments, Delgado with the calmness and finds Martinez, and with Martinez with outside the box, a banger and pretty much silences the crowd, and we move on. And move on to the next round. And as we all saw, that it was going to be later on Cruz Azul.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. The corner kicks were adding up. Like, we were there. We were constantly there. We are just trying to get across that line. It wasn't looking great. You could feel it towards the end of that, as it was getting closer to injury time, that Alajuelense, man, I know, basically went, okay, let's just take it to overtime because then there's no away goals. Like, why would we take a risk? Let's just lock this down and get to extra time. And thankfully, we caught them. Martinez comes into this game. He did change a huge dynamic in this game. He really opened things up once he came into it. We were really controlling towards the end there. Like, you felt like it was only a matter of time, like we would get a chance. Like, a breakthrough had to happen, but the passes weren't quite getting there. In this case, Martinez gets the ball. He heads down there. You're thinking they're going to close on him, but instead they kind of drop off to contain. And just that hesitation was enough for him to go, okay, I'll take this shot. Beautiful goal, great finish, great attitude in the process. Bam, one, celebrations from him get more and more entertaining. And two, your thoughts on the physicality from our boys and the way they responded in this match.
With the physicality, it's great seeing our boys step up and not be pushovers and all that kind of stuff. With Alajuelense's goal, we were a little bit unlucky. It was a save by Hugo into the head of their attacker and into the back net. Couldn't do much about that. But the way that the boys stepped up, they kept going. The passes between the midfield and the attackers for Ordaz's goal was great. Ordaz just one-timed it into the net. It was amazing. And then Martinez, again, from outside the box, takes a shot, and it goes in. If that goes wide, okay, we're going to extra time. But it didn't. It went in, back of the net. Keepers outstretched, couldn't get there. What more can you ask for? As I was saying, you can go back and watch the last 100 episodes. I've always said, shoot from outside the box. Plain and simple. Just take a shot, shoot from outside the box. But that being said, though, it is great to run into Alajuelense again. Hopefully, the next time we run into them, it is the final. Seeing how their supporters have passion for the team and all that is always good to see. I think that they are a decent sized club who has a lot more trophies to come in the future. So with that club, I have no ill will against them at all. I wish them all the success in their leagues and all that, and hope to see them again in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, possibly a bit further down the line, not first, second round again.
Yeah, from the other side of the bracket, right? I'm with you, man. I mean, over 100 years of history, they've won this thing twice. They were really pushing and really improved their roster this year to try to make a run and try to make an upset here. They got close. Again, it took us to the 90+7 to finally get this thing settled. And for most of the match, until the second half, it looked like they had the game plan. It looked like it was going to work. We were in trouble, but we got through. So mad respect to them for what they did. We did get through, but on any given day, it could have gone different. That's for sure. They had the talent. They had the work rate. They had the effort. It just didn't work out on the day for them. We move on.
Exactly.
Araceli, again, you know how teams are in MLS going down to Central America. Pretty impressive, this win, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just kind of going down there was always that thought of maybe it could have gone the other way. And I mean, I will say for the game itself, I wasn't able to watch it in its entirety because St. Patrick's, I have a reason, but it's at least I caught the winning goal. So I caught the most important part of it. But I mean, just to see them win, it's great overall. And now they get to move on.
Well, and the other big deal, right, Araceli, is there's other teams that aren't moving on from MLS. We're the survivors, but all of our rivals, minus Seattle, aren't going to be in the next round, are they?
They are not.
Yeah. So Miami, dead. Vancouver, dead. Those are the big ones. San Diego, bye. You're out. Thanks for dreaming. We know how that feels. The youth these days. To me, those are the big three, right? You're gone. I know there were some Liga MX teams that we were kind of hoping wouldn't make it through, that they did. Oh, well, at least they knocked out some bigger threats in MLS anyways. And the fun thing about this is basically every matchup in the next round, yeah, it's Liga MX versus MLS. It's a trip how the brackets broke apart. It came out perfect for the competition. Might as well cancel Leagues Cup. This one's going to be way more interesting. And so, yes, we are going to be playing Cruz Azul. Not sure where we're going to play them at. I mean, they played their last match against Monterrey in Puebla, which is a long, long trip from Mexico City, and you'd have to fly into Mexico City and then make your way to Puebla. Yeah, not an easy one if they end up playing there, but there's rumors that it might actually be in the big house, that it might be ready in time. We're waiting for the official announcement. But we know approximations as to when we're playing. It ain't next week, it's the week after. Where it all begins. We'll host leg 1, they'll host leg 2, but yeah, Cruz Azul, man, this is a big monster, that's for sure. Monterrey and the pretty trip there didn't happen, but hey, Cruz Azul again, a classic team, a huge team from Liga MX. You know they're going to go hard in our stadium, guaranteed. And have a lot of support there, and I know gives us a good excuse to travel too. So it should be a good matchup. Tony, I know you were hoping for the Cruz Azul matchup. Thoughts, man?
It's going to be a fun trip. I know a lot of people have already trying to discuss where they're going to go, and I'm happy it's through Cruz Azul. But again, it's going to be a hard road to the final. It's as you see the bracket officially fill out today, and I don't know what to say. It's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a battle. Like I said, if it does go to Puebla, realize, guys, you're going to have to pretty much take a bus from Mexico City to Puebla to get there. It is not easy. And even crazier, the game time for this last match locally for them was like 10 p.m. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. So we'll see what happens next. It should be interesting. All love to everyone who's gonna make the trip. Bam, looking at the bracket, how do you feel going into the next round, man?
It's going to be interesting. One thing about living in Australia is you don't get access to any of the Liga MXs. I can't going to find a way to watch some of it, so I don't really know too much about those sides because I can't watch them. So I'll rely on you guys a lot for it. It should be fun though. Kind of disappointed that one side of the bracket isn't just MLS, the other side isn't Liga MX, so you got guaranteed one of either in the final. But, you know, looking forward to possibly seeing Nashville or Seattle in the final. It would be fun, I reckon. But we'll see what happens between now and then. I'll be intrigued to see what happens with the Toluca game, see what the results end up being there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting with those final last steps of the brackets, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it would be Cruz Azul and then most likely Toluca. I'll just say it. I don't give a crap. That's what it would be. Because the weakest team left in the tournament is one we all know. And the other side, I mean, Club Americas, you would think they would probably sweep that side. That's just life. That's what it was going to be. So, yes, in order to win the Champions Cup this year, the likelihood would be getting through the gauntlet of Cruz Azul, Toluca, and Club America, which, good Lord.
That being said, though, don't discount Nashville. You know, they took out the league, the CONCACAF's favorite baby side. So
True. Yeah, I mean, a great game plan from them. So there is that. So that's where we're at, guys. Got you up to date for all the matches. I do see about 25 comments from the faithful. You guys were busy tonight. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to say. Let's see where it's at. I'll throw up the reaction tag. There we go. Of course, the greetings as well. First in the mix. Hey, they unseated you, man. Here we go. David Day, first on there, says sprint season will be fun. Agreed. Q, the next up. He says, "What's up, guys? Just came back from watching my Marinos get spanked by FC Tokyo earlier this month. I hope one day MLS in general reaches the levels of support the J League teams have. And I will just say this time and time again: watch the J League, guys. You will be thoroughly entertained. It is a fun league, and the supporter culture there is top notch. Every stadium, man, it's just passion and organized passion. I'll say it that way because really, it just looks good. It just, again, the view, right? And Bam, you're laughing because right? I mean, it's a show every time you watch a J League match.
Oh, exactly. I'm actually, me and my partner are actually looking at going over to Japan in 2028 for a couple of weeks. So, Q, when we get close, I'll be trying to hit you up because I definitely want to go to a J League game live because being able to watch it here in Australia on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you watch on YouTube over there as well.
Yep.
Just watch it. It's an amazing atmosphere. It's everything's about it is great. It's if you get a chance, just watch it because they do go all out and they do play with a lot of passion because the supporters are there with a lot of passion.
Yeah, and a very positive vibe, I think is one way to say it is just the sounds, the whole energy. It's kind of right. I'll say that. We like the edgy stuff too. Don't where we come from on this, but it's kind of refreshing. It is. It is. David is against the pro rel. Oh man. I like the edge too. See? So he's all about the major league system. There you go. Look at that. That's an interesting one from Q. He says, sorry, Bam. I was also at the WBC game between Australia and Korea. Didn't go well for Australia and met some Melbourne City fans as well. Sorry, Bam. I had to put that up there.
Hey,
WBC, man.
Going up against Korea, going up against Japan, it was always going to be tough for Australia. But hey, they did Australia proud, plain and simple, and seeing USA not win it too was amazing. It's great to see. It's a shame that Italy and Mexico didn't get together and guarantee that USA wouldn't make any further. But hey, it's always a great bit to watch before the MLB kicks off. So it is what it is. But yeah, another thing, if you go to Japan, if you can't get to football, at least try and get to a baseball game. Crowds are amazing.
Yeah, you can't go wrong either sport. They got supporters. So it's kind of interesting, like the supporters, because you'll have them for both teams. And then whoever's up is getting the songs, right? Like the offense gets to sing pretty much. They kind of take turns. And then each guy will have a different kind of song. And it's wild, man. It's cool. So like it, Q. I'm happy you had a good trip, dude. I mean, yeah. And Australia kind of got hosed, dude. The tiebreaker is kind of goofball. I'll say that too. So I'll leave it at that. David Day says the Tigres come back against Columbus. Wasn't it? I thought it was Cincinnati. Maybe I'm off, but
Tomato.
Cincinnati?
Tomato.
Yeah, somebody from Ohio. We don't like Ohio. So there you go. The Tigres comeback was awesome, and I cannot believe they turned it around the way they did. But again, if you're going into that cauldron, their stadium, my God, they're on top of you like this, dude. It's easy to crumble, and I've seen teams crumble before like that. It's not the first time they've done this to somebody. So, yeah, they're scary. That's for sure. Q also says, it was guaranteed MLS versus League Yankees this coming round. Thanks to that. Exactly. That's kind of what put it in place. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Marvin says, do you feel excited or nervous that LAFC will face Cruz Azul? It seems that when MLS teams play in Mexico City, they get cold feet. Hopefully, LAFC can play well over there in Mexico. I would say cautiously optimistic from my end. I know it's hell to go there. And if it is going to be in Mexico City itself and not Puebla, it's going to be that much harder. Okay? This is a different experience. None of these guys really know Those that know, right? That this is a whole different animal. Now, that being said, the team we're against, I think we match up well against Cruz Azul. I think Tony might agree with me. Your thoughts on that, Tony?
Yeah, they are right now a good top of the table team. They've always done well. We were supposed to face them our first year around. We were in this competition, but we all know that people day. And
Yeah.
so, but it's gonna be a very interesting game in general. So, hopefully, moving forward, it's gonna be okay. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's going to be a tough one. That's for sure. David also mentioned, he says, we do have history with every team in the quarters besides Toluca and Nashville. Cruz Azul America want payback. We want payback on Tigres, F Seattle, F Carson. I'll just leave it at that. You're right, man. But you know what that means, right? These are all the teams that keep featuring. That's why they're becoming familiar and kind of annoying for us because, well, those are the teams that always show up. Minus one of them, whatever. Yeah. So there you go. Again, it's kind of appropriate to see who we might have to play in this. That's kind of what it should be, unless they're major upsets. That fits. That definitely fits. See, Falcon 187 is on here. Says, "What's up, guys?" David Day giving a thumbs up. Diego Rossi 9, fun account there. Says AOC winning the cup this year. I don't want to jinx it. It's a long way. It's a marathon, everybody. We all know how marathons can end. After we watched the LA marathon, how interesting that one ended. You can't take things for granted. That's for sure. Oh man, and Dave says the lads need to bring us. Dave Gomez, that is. Says the lads need to bring us the Triple C Cup this year. Full stop. To me, that's the primary. In my head, that's the primary. You gotta go all out for that one until it's no more. I think Tony, you're in the same boat, right? I mean, that's the big target.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's the only target for right now is just to win the whole cup and move forward. Also want to give I forgot to tell you, Joseph, before we started. Falcon actually saw me at the north end and was looking for you, and we just had a conversation. But you left; it was after the game. So I wanted to give him a little shout out and say thank you for having a good conversation. I think he said he was going to the watch party, so hopefully we see him there.
There we go. Looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to see you there, Falcon. Yeah, I had to cut out kind of early. Dad duty stuff, man. Adulting, yes. But I had to take care of the kiddos, so I had to run out. But we still had a good time. Lovely win. You know how it is. David Day's also saying CONCACAF or bust. There you go. David Day's laughing about the lads. That's funny. Dave said 2-hour train ride. There you go. And then Larice, our captain. Oh, David was asking why Larice is our captain and Son isn't. I would say ask Son. I guarantee you Son would be like, that's my captain. Historically, that was his captain forever and ever and ever. So he always will look up to him. There's a respect level there. So I think that's why. The consistency. And Larice has a tendency when a club needs to wake the hell up, he's that guy. He doesn't have to say much, but when he does, you listen. That is Luis's way. So he's a good leader. It's natural for him. Let's see. I'm going to run down to the next thing here. All the way down. I went oh, man, a few things. Oh, yeah. And Q, of course, and this is the warning for everybody. It says Tigres and Toluca just proved that no lead is safe down in Mexico. That is for sure. MLS teams tend to crumble. And there you go.
I kind of want to debate that a little bit because it's like the teams that have passed through we are also in that same spot where we're the consistent team that always makes it through the next round, even in tough environments. Like the teams that do lose haven't really done well. Like think about it more of like Champions League, when a team like you expect these teams to be in the quarters, in the semis, or in the finals, and that's how we're at this point, just kind of the same, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, I think we're finally at that point where we're getting referred as to one of the favorites.
Yeah.
they don't want to play us either. I think that's the best way to say it is there is nobody in these brackets, and when I can't wait to play LAFC, that's the team I want next round. There isn't one, man. There isn't one. Nobody wants to play us right now. No way. It's the same thing. Well, maybe in the final, right? There's others that they would much rather play. Trust me, every other Liga MX team that doesn't have us this round is happy it's not us against them. So they're just as cautious as we are at this stage. No doubt about that. Good point, Tony. You're right, man. Be confident, right?
Yeah, well, it's like again, it's like we're always in it. Just like the teams that haven't gone through this tournament like multiple times, and yes, we as Q Cardi pretty much says like we haven't won in Mexico yet.
Yeah,
but I have faith with this team and the way we're going that we're going to. Hopefully, but that's just me.
Gonna have to. Gonna have to. The only disadvantage, and I'll say this is the biggest disadvantage, is leg 2 is there, not here. And for us, that's a huge factor. So there you go. All right. I will pull this to the next thing. I think the next one we're going to talk about, of course, is going to be LAFC 2. So that will be Araceli giving us the update. How are things in the world of LAFC 2, Araceli?
Well, first things first, before I go too deep into this past weekend's match, I want to give a quick shout out to Jude Terry for making his MLS debut this past weekend in the match against St. Louis. So to see any of the LAC2 boys obviously make it to the first team, get that contract, and make their appearance, it's always great to see. And it's something that, you know, we've been talking about for the last couple of seasons. So good on him. But for the current roster, they unfortunately fell in the shootout out in Salt Lake, 5-4. Jacob Machuca, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. He scored a banger from a tight angle in the 22nd minute, which actually won goal of the match week 3 honors. And for the rest of the match, not too much action, a little kind of back and forth, but until it got to the second half, Real Monarchs tied it up in the 61st minute. Then Marius Arenero, oh my God, I am not on it. I'm sorry. He goes off the volley to tie it. And then, oh my goodness, to get the lead back. I am so sorry, you guys. It's late. Grabs the lead, but then unfortunately 2 minutes later, Real Monarchs scored to force the match to the shootout, which ultimately, like I said, they fell. But next up, the boys will face St. Louis City 2 in St. Louis this Sunday. It's 11 a.m. kickoff, so it's very early. But the match, like always, will be free to stream on OneFootball and MLS Next Pro's website.
The boys continue. So St. Louis this Sunday. Oof, not going to be easy. That's for sure. All right. Let's see. You know what we do next, right? Cleveland Community News. And there's a big one to talk about. Tony's like, I'm ready for this. All right, man. You have the floor, sir.
So well, let's say the big one for the last, but of course, the 3252 membership is still available. There are 2 tiers. There is the first tier, which is the $30 one, which is the membership, the scarf, and that's about it. And then you can build your own with it, as in to add on, which is the pin, which is $8, the patch, which is $10, the dog tag, which is $5, the cut beanie, it's somewhere around here, and the crew socks, which is $15. And if you want all that together, it could get you it's about like $65. So remember to sign up. It helps, and just sign up with all your SGs that you are associated with too. And you know, I just saw someone pop on the chat, but and it helps build drums, tifos, any of the fun stuff and everything like that. So yeah, so just make sure you sign up. It's kind of simple and easy. If you can go pick it up, pick it up at the watch party if you already had it, or tailgates most of the time. So we'll put more into the news about it as well later.
There we go. Quality is good, I will say. Thanks to Tony, he secured my gear for this week. It's good stuff, man. The dog tag, my son was wearing it for the most part in this one. So yeah, no, all good, man. All good. All right. Anything else to add, sir?
Yes. So the other thing is, AIM is having a 5K run and walk and kiddie walk at Esleyan Park at 835 Academy Road, Los Angeles, from 8 a.m. till finish on August 9th. Running your favorite sports team attire, which is optional, and it's pretty much a kind of like a fundraiser, as with what AIM does is athletes in the making. You can sign up your kids. It's $40, $35 for kids, $40 for adults.
There we go. Definitely.
And
Vic is amazing. The whole family is amazing. So if you can go support that, please do. Please do. All right. Anything else, sir? Anything else?
And then the final thing, of course, 3252 is having an official watch party at Ontario Airport. It's arrived there. It's going to be at 2180 East Avion Street, Ontario, California, located in the National Guard hangar. I believe time is at 2:30. Game starts at 5. Food vendors, giveaways, everything like that. It's going to be a fun time. And then, of course, if you can't make it out to that, I know TSG is also having their official watch party at Beer Gardens as usual. At 5:30, they're going to have a Ratchel merch pickup for them as well. So if you can't make it out to Ontario, I know TSG is having one at Beer Gardens in Koreatown.
Yeah, it's cool. I will say I went last year to the hangar with my son. It was a huge, huge day. Honestly, it was a blast. The noise level was way up. Bring your lawn chairs, of course. Everybody used lawn chairs, and they had basically the game from every wall projected. Fire department decided to show off and brought their brand new fire engines out. We're spraying water like crazy, so that was kind of cool to see. The swag was great. A lot of giveaways for the kids, stuff for them to play with. And yeah, the food trucks were on point. So it's a good time out. And because it's an all 3252 event, you're going to see all of the supporter groups there. Reps from every group should be there. The drums will be going. Tony's going to be losing his mind like he always does. You know how he holds it down. Should be good. Should be fun. So don't miss it. It's worth it. It really is. I know I heard the RSVPs were kind of locked at this point, but you never know, right? If they might let you on in anyway. So yeah, that's a thing, which means it's gonna be nice and packed too. A good event for sure. On that, we wrap up our community news, which brings us to the next stage of our community. That's right, the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minutes. Interesting choices, I think, for this week. I think the funniest one's probably gonna be Bam, so I'm gonna let him lead the way, sir. Where are you going with, sir?
I'm going to go with something that's been on my newsfeed a little bit this week because it's been hilarious and there's not much more better thing to do at the moment due to the end of a court case where he was found that he didn't breach any laws or anything like that. And that's a little bit of Afro Man lemon pound cake.
Lemon pound cake. There you go. Yeah, dude, it's absolutely hilarious. I'll throw it over to you, Tony. What is yours for this week?
Funny enough, I've been going back to 2000s a little bit, R&B, and it's been Lloyd, You. That was pretty much my go-to for that one.
There we go. All right, good choice. I went back, so we got 90s, 2000s. Forget it. I'm going back to the 80s. I think it's worth it for me. Back to 1987, Depeche Mode album. This one's going to be Music for the Masses is the album. Song, of course, is going to be Route 66, as Matthew Chouanier, number 66, got it done in our last league match. And since we got a preview league match, I think that is probably the best thing to run with. So yes, Route 66, Depeche Mode. Yes, it's a cover of a cover of a cover of a cover. But man, this one sounds good. And if you like that sound, right, of Depeche Mode, which is classic as can be, enjoy it. It's music for the masses, everybody. Huge album. Ursula, do you have
Yeah.
anything want to add in?
Yeah, I was looking for the Depeche Mode one, and all I get is "Life Is a Highway" and the car soundtrack at the moment.
Oh God, no! You gotta go for the music for the masses album, and it'll be
Found
on
it.
there.
Found it. Adding it to the list. I
There
am
you go,
making a
man.
list. I will put it up when there's more songs to put to you guys listen to on your drives and everything. If you want, I can give you the link now. But it's very small at the moment.
And now, if I'm looking at that album, also "Never Let Me Down Again" and "Strange Love" is also on that album. So, if you want to look for the hits, there you go. All right. On that note, let's switch it over, of course, to the match against Austin FC. No holding back on this one. Wait, did she get one? Did you get one? I'm going to hold off on that because I think Araceli has one. Yes? Yes?
Well, I mean, the only thing that really came to mind was Ice Nine Kills, because I've just been listening to that song on nonstop. But then when you mentioned Route 66, the Rascal Flatts version popped in my head.
Life is a highway.
Oh my gosh. All right, that works. Ice Nine Kills is an interesting band. I don't think we've put them on the list yet. A song for every horror movie. It's fascinating, I must say. That's my kind of music, though, honestly, guys. So I listen. I think more of the hard rock metal stuff has been my thing lately. Anyways, it's always been there. But Ice Nine Kills, that's cool. A little different. Their favorite album for them, Araceli? Do you have a favorite album?
Not really.
Just let it rip, guys. Honestly, there we go. Okay, we're only gonna bug you about the next match. That's for sure. So let's get into it. LAFC at Austin FC, a team that's been struggling this season, unlike us. But of course, when they play at home, home cooking is legit there. If you're looking at their 2 games they played at home this year, well, they got a win and a draw at home. 2 losses were on the road. There you go. So they do get results when they're in their house. This match, of course, will be a 5:45 kickoff for those of you going to the watch party. That means you have a lot of time to hang out and enjoy the food and raffles and all that other stuff. So 5:45 kickoff. Last match, they lost to RSL. The match before that, they lost to Charlotte. It's a 2-1 defeat in the last match. I think, Bam, you had a look. I had a look at this match. I mean, I'll throw it to you, man. Like, why were they even in this match?
One person only, Brad Stuber. He was all over the place. It honestly, it could have been 6-7-0 easily. It wasn't for Stuber. Stuber was pulling saves left, right, and center. It is ridiculous. So going to this game, I hope he has a bad game, plain and simple, because the way that the defense was playing, it wasn't that good. I hate to say it, but Ilie wasn't on his best game last game either for him. So if they keep with that trajectory, we better show up and we better just rock out.
Well, I'll say this. We've had a history of allowing goalies kind of take us out of our game at times when they've had games like that. But backing that up game to game, I can't expect them to play that good the next round. That was insane, that game. The saves were nuts. One-on-one stuff, close, point-blank range saves. Again, a good day for him, a bad day for his side as they still lost. The other goal that they allowed, their first goal was an own goal, which is kind of fascinating as well. But again, they were dominated against RSL. RSL owned these guys. There's no question about it. It was a rough day out. And I believe it was a rough day out when they went to Charlotte too and allowed 3 goals in that game. So there are some things there. There's some issues to worry about. Now, they do play a 4-2-3-1. Stuver, of course, in goal. Heinz, Ike, and Svatok, who did the own goal. Right. That's the center backs. The Gallagher and Bell, the outside backs. Duvarsky and Sanchez holding midfield, Torres attacking mid, Nelson Rosales outside mids with Uzuni up top. I think other guys to feature was Dordovic, Sabovic, Altui, yeah. So I honestly, it doesn't seem as deep of a team as they've had in the past. This one seems pretty thin, to be honest. They're going to have a rough year. There's no doubt. But we don't need to give them momentum either. So that's the threat of this game. Going into somebody else's house, another game in Texas. We seem to like Texas a lot early this year, and not an easy setup at all. I go to you, Tony. Thoughts on this match? Concerns about this match? Concerns about Austin?
No, no real concerns because I think the boys need some rest, and I'm like okay with everything that's going on recently with them and yeah, they're not playing as great, but I don't know. It's just like I just need to see some more finishing, and then also I know the question is is Sonny gonna score? Is Sonny gonna do this? Is Sonny gonna do that? But it's also I also want the chatter to stop about this because sometimes they don't need to do this all the time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If he's still getting the job done, and if he's playing provider, they're still doing the job, right? If he's opening up space by getting double, triple teamed at times, but he still gets the ball released and gets the job done, what exactly is wrong with Son's game? Nothing. He's still doing the job. Yes, we're used to seeing him score a ton of goals, but there's more to this game than just scoring goals. Honestly, yes, as a side, you need to, but it doesn't have to be a specific player, right? If he plays in the system, doing the job, still getting the assist as needed, I can't complain. I cannot complain. I go to you, Bam. You're nodding with me on this, right?
Oh, 100%. I know the boys are getting tired and all that kind of stuff. Luckily, after this game, there is an international break, so they are off until the next game is not until Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have that little bit of a break, which is good for them. But at the same time, yes, Sonny's not scoring. He does not need to score every game. Wonga's not scoring every game. Look at our goal scorers. It's been shared. We have 6 different goal scorers. When was the last time that we had 6 different goal scorers after 4 games?
Look at last year for the tail end of the season. 2 guys were scoring everything.
Exactly.
That would be a bigger concern, right?
Exactly. Now we've got players that are getting into position, taking the shots that they can hit and hitting them, which we need to keep going for this game coming up. Because if you go back and you have a look at RSL's second goal, that was from way outside the box. Silva couldn't get there. So, again, going into this game is if you got a shot, take it. Don't always rely on Bwonga and Sonny to walk it in.
Walking in doesn't work right now with the way the teams are lining up against us. It doesn't. It takes the other, which does take out your main scorers. That's why they're playing the systems they're playing. That's their approach. Araceli, of course, rarefied air. We've already got the 4 in the row. Chance to make a little more history. Heading to road in Texas. How are you concerned about this matchup with Austin FC?
Oh, I mean, I'm always concerned. Even though Austin hasn't had a good track record lately, it's like with any team, you can never underestimate them. And especially with the type of schedule that LAFC has been having, not being like a broken record here, but exhaustion keeps coming up. So we don't know how the boys are feeling. I feel like they're going to lean a little bit more on the substitutes this time around. Maybe we'll see more of Ordaz this time, but I mean, hopefully they're able to get the win. We always wish for the best, of course, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting battle.
Exactly. And speaking of that battle, within the battle, let's talk about the lineup. Thank you, Araceli, for that transition. Looking at the back line, seeing who got rested, who didn't. Of course, Lloris will be in goal. I don't see that changing. Why would it change? The back line, I can't see that changing from Tafari and Porteous. The pairing is there. Left back situation, right back situation. Palencia was in a battle this week. Araceli, are you going to change out your outside backs or go with our classic? What are your thoughts?
Wishful thinking would be the classic, but I don't see them changing out.
So who's your? I think the big one is the left back because there's 3 options. What do you think for that one?
Oh man.
So we've got Segura's been doing it, right? Hollingshead is there. And then, of course, Smolikov, who hasn't got a lot of minutes, at least not as much as we'd like to see. Who do you think gets it for this one?
I think it would be Hollingshead, but ideally, I like to see Smolikov get more minutes.
Man, needs them. That's for sure. I go to you, Tony. Your back line?
Smolikov, and I'll keep Palencia in.
Raposo can sit for this one. There we go. Bam, your back line?
I'm sticking with Eddie and Palencia.
Keep it classic. We're going to get a rest anyway.
Exactly. But you'll also get 2 is, unless Eddie says, I need a rest, why rest him? He's playing well at the moment.
The only reason he came out in the game in Costa Rica was because he was sitting on a yellow card. If he's not sitting on that yellow card, he finishes the game. I have no doubt in my mind. So for him, it ended earlier than he liked it to. Man, that was dangerous, honestly. But he did make the mistakes. There was one play where he could have, and he didn't. Again, Eddie's thinking on a different level now, and it's beautiful to see. I kind of feel like Smolikov might get the run out for this one. I just do, because it's a good match for it. Midfield situation, of course. We know that Eustaquio is injured. Could be 4 weeks is what the rumors are. LAFC X, I think, popped that up there saying from a report from Jesse Marsh that 2 to 4 weeks at a minimum because he kind of re-injured through rehab. I know, terrible. Getting injured by a referee is insane, but there we are. So he's going to be out, which means options are limited in midfield again. Bam, I go to you. Who are your 3 in the mid, since we always go 2 deep, 1 high?
Tillman, Chouanier, and number 9. Number 8, sorry. Number 8.
There you go. All right. Tillman, Chouanier. I'm with you on that. Tony?
Tillman, Chouanier, and Porteous. I'll bring him up there.
Porteous is already in the mix, right?
Yeah.
So
He's center back.
Definitely. All right. Now let's talk about those attackers. That's the big one, right? Denny, Sonny. Starting? What do you think, Araceli?
Again, ideally, like to rest him, but given MLS and the fan service, I feel like it's a given.
Yeah, I feel like they're starting no matter what we do, which of course brings it to who's with those guys. Tony, who's going to be with the boys?
I'll give Martinez a start.
I agree. Reward the man. He earned it. Bam?
Martinez, he's been playing on fire. At the same time, like Ordaz has been great last couple of games, but I think Martinez just edges him out.
Both scoring. Both going to see minutes. I think there's a guarantee they're both. This is who gets to start the story, but they're both going to get the minutes. So there it is, guys. That is our lineups. I do see some comments from the faithful. Let me check in with you guys, see who's on there, see who I missed. I think I missed one in the last conversation. Here we go. Back to it. I see there was Jadu01 was kind of criticizing a bit of Santos's tactics and has concerns about Champions League. See, I didn't miss you, man. I get it, dude. I hear that chatter all the time. We'll see, right? It's developing, that's for sure. He did pass the last test, though, so we'll give him that. This is interesting. From Cardi says MDS has a chance to cement himself as the first LAC coach to win in Mexico. So there's that. You're on point. Bestie AM is on as well. It says never feel La Jolla is here. Got the diamond. There it is. Miss Mary Luna says maybe this was previously covered and I missed, but how come Sonny hasn't scored? And again, that was the comment that Tony's mentioned, and we kind of hit that of basically, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be scoring, you're going to contribute other ways, and I think that's just this accepted thing. Goals will come when they come, and yes, he gets frustrated when he doesn't score, but look what he's gotten out of this. You know what he likes more than scoring? Winning. And I think that always placates everything. Bessie Amos says big smiles for Martinez. Give that kid everything. I agree. He has had that breakout year we were all hoping for. Now he has to sustain that and build on it. And he's only going to get better. Oh, Q's got a question for Araceli. He says, Araceli, when is the first home game for LAFC2 at Rawlinson Stadium?
April 15th when they host Portland.
There we are. Be there, be square, guys. That should be a fun one. So head out to Rawlinson Stadium. New vibes. Marvin Mejia's got a big response here. Let's let this rip. He goes, I know it's too early that we need to play each game, but do you guys believe LAC can make history and finally win CONCACAF Champions Cup and end the Mexican dominance, or will it continue? I mean, odds are going to be stacked against you because of history. But if there's ever been a team in this league that's kind of looked the part so far, it's us. It's definitely us. It's organized. It's looking good. So I gotta say, I feel a bit bullish. Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Plain and simple. You got to. I think that there is a chance that we can start winning this and start showing some dominance over the Mexican teams, but it's not the LAFC that has to stand up. It's other MLS teams that have to start standing up to them. Plain and simple.
Right. Of course, there's the mechanics of it, right? We're not allowed to spend money the way Yankees teams can spend money. That does put us at a huge disadvantage. Again, if you're an American team, an MLS team making this move and making it happen, you are fighting with one hand behind your back because of the cap and the way it's built. That's just naturally occurring. So you're defying the odds even getting to a final at this point. But for building a team under that budget, we look pretty good. That's for sure. And David Day, he's got his fingers crossed. I think that's what it is. My eyes are terrible. Yeah. With Korea. So there you go. Nice, David. All right. So that are the comments from the faithful. Thank you guys for that. Never holding back. That is what we always love best from all of you guys. Now, I know we've gone a little bit long in this episode. I think it was worth with so many games being covered and a big one this weekend to continue that momentum. So what do we do every night? Last bit, our final comments, final thoughts. So with those final thoughts, I think Tony's ready to start this one off, sir. Your final thoughts, my friend.
Final thoughts is again, shout out to Falcon for kind of recognizing me, I guess. I always forget that I'm on a podcast, and it's just like it just catches you off guard. Be like, wait, what? And everything. So shout out for reaching out and everything. I'm sorry I couldn't get you to talk with Joseph, but Joseph has parental duties with the kids and everything. So shout out to that. Shout out to Philly and Scarf for their 400 episodes. I know it's a hard thing to get to there, us. But we at 428, and we're still going, and there's one of the originals too. There's a lot of originals going on, but like 400 episodes is a very big milestone. It's a very hard thing to do, to continue and be consistent with it. But overall, it's been a fun last couple of weeks, exciting for a lot of downs and ups. And, with that just being said, it's just, you'll go into BAM a little bit more, but, reach out to people, have conversation with friends and family, just keep the communication going no matter what, in the Discord of just like, even if you don't agree on something, just to have this Discord with somebody, to have the conversations and everything, to keep the community connected. And also just never meet your idols sometimes, because you never know the realistic reality of the stuff like that. It does suck, but when someone is bad, and what I'm talking about, it needs to be shut down and everything. Like, yes, he was part of something, but he wasn't the original. And then this goes back to me learning more about not just my culture, of like everything that was going on with that, who really started it, and who was the real founder, and who was the backbone of it. I mean, there are faces to things, but when you actually look of it, surprising to me, of like, I forget his name at the moment,
Philip, I forget his name right now, just because I'm still learning more, is the Filipino who started it with Cesar Chavez. And, again, it just goes back to like my connections with that community as well, and just how strong it is and just how much connected we are with that. But, it's also shout out to the Cesar Chavez's family for not just dismissing the accusations, but acknowledging what has happened and moving forward with it. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. So, I know Joseph will probably have some more to say. He's more the historian than I am, but I'll pass it on to the next person.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I will say the reactions that I've seen so far, all love to Dolores Huerta, honestly, what she's going through, and to make that statement at this stage, right, is bravery on top of bravery to open up at this point when maybe not, right? But did, and that was essential. Backing up, this needed to happen. It did, and it did. And the reactions from everyone outside of this at this point, the majority, I'll say, has been swift. It's been strong, and I believe appropriate in the moment. And yes, it is painful, but yeah, you have to face it head on. That's essential. I'll pass this over to Araceli. Your final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me are simple. Really just wishing everyone a fun and safe weekend, whether if you're going to a watch party for Austin or just have anything fun planned for spring break. I know for me, I won't be watching the game because I will be going to Sporting's. Sporting has a home game and they're doing retro night, and I think LAFC and Sporting are kind of around the same time. So I'll do my best to keep an eye on the game, obviously, but I won't be able to watch it live. And of course, if anybody has any recommendations for Portland, or if you're going to Portland yourself, definitely let me know. Really looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. Have a great time. Are they doing Wizards or Wiz throwback? What are they going for over there?
They always go with the Wiz.
The Wiz. Okay. I remember the Wizards too. But the rainbow one was probably the best jersey. So I'll just leave it at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The best by far. Bam, my friend. I'm gonna give you the final thought next, of course.
Final thought, again, to the defenders, much love to you all for reaching 400. You had a massive guest for your 400th episode. If you get a chance, go listen to it. It is a great podcast. And while we're on the defenders, shout out to Scarf. Happy birthday. It is his birthday is tomorrow for you guys, but for me, it's already his birthday.
Is it Australian birthday or USA?
Yeah,
birthday?
Australian birthday. So I sent him a message earlier today saying happy birthday. Enjoy the 48 hours of partying, because when it's your birthday here, it's your birthday there at the same time. I don't know if he's going to be at the hangar, but if he is, go off and wish him happy birthday to his face. Go celebrate with him. Again, for those that are going to the watch parties, have fun. From what the boys have been saying, it's going to be hot, so drink plenty of water, have an exit strategy, have a way to get home. For those going to Austin, stay safe, have fun while you're over there. For those that aren't doing either, chill at home, watch the game, have fun. Get in group chats with your friends that are watching the game as well. Have a chat about it. Because as I always say, mental health does matter. It is major that you do get on top of it. You do look after it. Get out there in the sun, go for a walk, go for a chat, meet up with someone for a coffee. Within walking distance with the price of petrol these days, just somewhere close. That's good.
$100 a pill.
Yeah. If you do need professional help, please seek it. For those in LA area, you can call the LA County Department of Mental Health on 800-854-7771. Or if you don't feel like actually physically talking and you just want to text with someone, text 988 for their crisis lifeline. Reach out to it. It is there for you to use, so please use it.
There we go. Thank you, sir, for that. And he is right. Always look out for each other in this community. Do not hesitate. If you are not feeling well, share it. It's the best thing you could possibly do. Let others know, get the help necessary. I know it's easier said than done, but there will always be someone willing to listen. That is for sure. You are not alone. That leaves it to me for the evening to close things out for everybody on these final thoughts. As Tony said earlier, yes, it's been very difficult for the community. Hearing the recent news, I know more will follow, and we know, our hearts are with those who were victims of this for certain. But now the community will build. It gets stronger at the end of the day. In the moment difficult, it will get stronger. Again, community, it's critically important to be together, to be unified on all fronts. That is for sure. Now, on that note, in the world of LAFC and the faithful, all love to everybody supporting. I think this is one of our best attended episodes, seeing who's been jumping in and jumping out at this thing. So thanks to everybody who listened to the show tonight. Thanks to everybody who made the comments. A lot of new faces on there too. You guys are the lifeblood of the Heart of LAFC, because you are the Heart of LAFC, right? These are the diehards coming late at night. So all love to you guys. You keep us doing this week in and week out. Yes, we're about episode 428. I think the Defenders will catch us this season, no doubt. And that is awesome news, because again, we're all family. It's Pod Fam all the way through, and they've been doing it forever. So huge shout out to Defenders. Yes. Go say hi to Scarf. Happy birthday, sir. One of the best, that is for sure. One of the old school, again, just like us, been here for all of this madness. So happy to have you celebrate it with us. And again, hope you're gonna be at the hangar. That'll be freaking cool. For the rest, again, see you at the hangar. I'm definitely gonna be there. That is the plan. Tony's gonna be there. So don't fail to reach out. If you see us, say hi. We love the conversation. Otherwise, have a good one, guys. Enjoy the road trip for the Austin Travelers. For all the rest, let's get a win this weekend and enjoy a little time off for the international break. But we got to go hard through Saturday. On that note, the final comments, the final word. I'll go to you, Tony, first.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Araceli.
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.